were some people, Matt. There were some people who thought it was. They said it was rigged. There were some people. There are
Who
actually
are these people?
Okay, listen, man. You can go on Twitter and you can find videos where people will be like, "This is rigged. There's no way the goalie reacted this way." I don't believe it. I think that was 100% legit, and they're just haters.
Why do you give these people the time of day? I mean, he's playing a team, I believe, that was from Mexico. Why would a team from Mexico want to make it rigged so that Messi gets the winning goal?
Listen, I don't believe it. I think it was legit. I think it was about his greatness. But it was one of those like moments where you go, okay, did that just happen? Because it feels impossible for him to start that way. But he did.
Yeah. You are such a conspiracy thing.
Yeah, Twitter was made for me. It was made for me.
You can't just accept a wonderful moment in sports. You have to go, well, some people are saying.
I got to hear both sides. That's all I'm saying.
Stop it. You got to hear both sides. What's next?
So that?
No, what's next? What's the next headline? Mark, are you there?
I'm there. I was waiting for the voice of God.
You playing pickleball? What's happening? What's the second?
I was shirtless playing pickleball in the closet.
Okay.
Oh, no. What that dude talking about, man? I just said you live in closets. Like, whoa.
All right, well.
Have you left California?
The tour
thinks we're all living in storage units or something like that out here, man.
Yeah, that was wild. But something else that's going to be as wild is how I'm going to pronounce this guy's name. But the Tour de France will come to a close today.
Uh-oh.
Jonas Vingegaard continues.
Okay, that's not it. All right, let's try again. All right, his first name is Jonas. You got that.
Jonas.
This is the guy. He's going to win the Tour de France by 7.5 minutes. So will you try again?
Vingegaard.
And as I get in bed, I turn it on. I find it peaceful. Vindigo and Tadej Pogacar were going to be in a battle throughout the thing. Vindigo kind of pulled away in the final mountain stages, so it's over. But it was exciting. I enjoy it every July. It is almost like my meditation and my zen, my kind of humana, is to watch the Tour de France. And I am going to miss it, I will admit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not locked in. I get, that the people are into it. The bikes go really fast. For me, you have a bike. So it's the bike doing the work. It's almost
not
like
the bike. Dude. What do you mean the bike's doing the work? You're pedaling it.
Yeah, they got it's like we don't talk about jockeys in the Triple Crown. We talk about the horse, right? I feel like give the bikes more credit.
It's not the same thing. The horses run on their own. The bike, if you don't pedal it, doesn't move.
Yeah, but gravity and the wheels are doing a lot of
gravity.
Work too.
So you think
It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/JOY.
Asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, tuberculosis. These pulmonary diseases affect millions of Americans daily. And if you already suffer from one of these ailments, then you're well aware of the problems that you face. For over 75 years, the Will Rogers Institute has provided health education and research for all. For more information, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575. And find us on Facebook and Twitter, the Will Rogers Institute, since 1936.
Can you guess what's going on here? It's kids getting fit. Studies show that children and teens who get at least 60 minutes of physical activity a day reduce the risk of obesity, heart disease, anxiety, and increase their overall mood. So whether it's around your neighborhood or at school, just get out and play. For your free booklet, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter. The Will Rogers Institute since 1936.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting...
Me too. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, and of course, companionship. Just look how she struts. Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
You're locked on San Antonio's ESPN 1250, KZDC San Antonio, and everywhere at ESPN1250.com. This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. They're on the back nine at the 151st Open Championship at Royal Liverpool. Brian Harmon still got that 5-shot lead. Had it Friday after 2 rounds, had it Saturday after 3, and still has it now as he plays 13, 5 shots ahead of Tom Kim, Sepp Straka, and John Rahm, who are all 700. Max Verstappen wins the Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix, his 7th consecutive F1 victory. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Vegas Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo had foot surgery in March, passed his training camp physical, and will not be placed on the physically unable to perform list. And now Garoppolo is expected to begin training camp with his teammates. The Jets, of course, have Aaron Rodgers as their new quarterback, so that ought to help the offense. The defense was pretty good last year. However, Dan Leberfeld, the publisher of Jets Confidential, isn't ready to compare the Jet defense to the '86 Bears.
They played a lot of low-level quarterbacks. I mean, it's not their choice who they play. But think about this one, and I'm not disrespecting the guy, but he was a 7th-round rookie out of Kansas State. Skylar Thompson, they played him twice in 2 games against the Miami Dolphins. You know, they played Trevor Siemian against the Bears. They played Mitch Trubisky against the Steelers before Kenny Pickett came in. There was a lot of quarterbacks like that, so it helped their defense.
That's Dan Leverfeld on the best week ever earlier here on ESPN Radio.
Hey, this is Freddie Coleman, and coming up on Monday, I can't wait to tell you which NFL teams are poised to go from worst to first. Don't miss it at 6 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPNU.
Now, somebody that unfortunately I do know who he is Aaron Rodgers, because he won't shut up and because we end up talking about him all the time. And once again, he leads the show because he said something. So, Aaron is my friend, so I think he knows me.
Oh, boy, here it comes. Usually there's something bad comes up.
No.
Okay.
I need your help. And Aaron Rodgers for me is like, you know how people are gluten-free? If they get gluten, things don't work out for them? Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers is my gluten, right? Okay. Like when I have to listen to him, I break out in hives.
You're going to have to deal with it.
Shut up, Lane Kiffin.
This is Sunday Morning with Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio. You can also listen on the ESPN app, your smart speaker, and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
It's been an exciting show so far here on Sunday Morning with Matt and Myron on ESPN Radio. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. When you bundle your motorcycle, your RV, and your boat insurance, you can visit Progressive.com to make that happen. We've talked a lot about a lot of things. Don writes in on Twitter and says, I agree with you about the best athletes playing now except for boxing. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard are all the best boxers ever.
No.
I love you, Don, but no.
No, she's wrong. Tyson Fury
Don's
would destroy Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, I want to be clear with this, and if you disagree, feel free, 888 say ESPN, but you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Every athlete in every sport, the top ones are better now than anyone in the past. Yeah. Like the conversation of if Michael Jordan or LeBron is the GOAT, that can be a conversation about career accomplishments.
Yeah.
But the players are better today. You have any player in any sport that's at the top of their sport, played the best players of other generations one-on-one, they will beat them. Now, if Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard had modern training and grew up today, that's a different conversation. But today, it would happen. And I would just, what I'll note is every sport, every single sport where it is timed, the best people to do it have done it in the last few years. Every one of them. So why wouldn't that be true, Myron, in the other sports as well?
It is. And I think a lot of times we hold on to whatever our era was, our favorite athletes, whenever they competed. So I get the emotional attachment to it. But, like, it's not realistic to say that those athletes are better than the athletes now. I mean, Muhammad Ali is one of my favorite athletes of all time, an icon in sports, arguably the greatest boxer of all time in terms of his career and what he did. But people don't realize he fought at about 205, 210 pounds. These guys fight now are like 260, 270. It's just a whole different kind of athlete.
They would knock him.
He would destroy it.
They would destroy him.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean he's not great, but they would destroy him. I mean, even in baseball, you look, Myron, at the way these guys pitch. Look at the movement on the ball.
Yeah, it's different.
Those dudes weren't doing that back in the day.
No.
They just weren't. Like, these quarterbacks, these linebackers, I mean, there are linebackers that are running around crazy at 260 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't happen back in the day. So, I mean, I don't say this to be rude, but in every single sport, if what you're talking about is who's the best at it to ever do it, it's all the people doing it now. Now, if your question is who's the GOAT, like who's the greatest of
that's
a different question. But I don't understand how people, I mean, you show me somebody that played basketball in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that could even fathom guarding Giannis.
They couldn't. No, they wouldn't
Forget it.
This is what people don't realize. LeBron James, and we don't have to get into the whole GOAT conversation. LeBron James is as big as Karl Malone. And if you think about who Karl Malone was in that era, he was sort of the big bully, strong. Imagine Karl Malone moving like LeBron James in that era. Like, so just the athletes have changed, the conditioning has changed, you know, the way that these guys take care of their bodies. I mean, you hear some of those 80s NBA stories about guys drinking at halftime and stuff. Like, you just don't see any of that stuff in today's NBA, and that's a big part of it.
If you disagree, you can. It's 888-SAY-ESPN. I'll be friendly. Myron will get mad at you, but we will take your calls. 888-SAY-ESPN if you want to disagree. Now, another thing that has changed is that everyone on earth has devalued the running back market. And this is clear with Saquon Barkley. The Giants are not going to re-sign him to a big deal. They've talked about franchising and it makes running backs mad. And there's some chatter out there that running backs are considering coming together to try to, if not unionize separately, at least come together separately to prove their value. Now, Myron, I'm fine with that. By the way, if they want to do that, that's totally fine. But it's not going to matter because running backs are devalued. And the reason, and I know you agree with this, is you take the best quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and then you take the 20th best quarterback, and there's a massive gap between those two groups, right? But you take the best running back, and let's just say it's Saquon Barkley, and you take the 20th best running back, and that gap is actually quite small, and that's the problem for the running backs.
Yeah, they don't have a leg to stand on. I've been hearing a lot of conversations about this, and two things can be true. I want all athletes, especially those in the NFL, to be compensated accordingly, to get what they're worth, especially when you play a position where you're taking such a beating. You get knocked around, not supposed to last until you're 30 years old. I mean, a lot of those guys, their careers are dramatically different by the time they reach that age, if they're lucky enough to still be playing in the NFL. So that's fair. Like, I want to see Saquon Barkley get paid in a world where this is probably his last chance to get a real payday. At the same time, the position just doesn't matter the way it once did. And if you need proof of that, if you go on to the NFL records list and you look at single season rushing attempts of all time, like how many running backs have had the most rushing attempts ever? In the top 75, there is only one player on that list since 2015, and that's Derrick Henry, right? No one else is playing that way even. Like, no one else is doing the feed the running back. So my problem, Matt, with the whole conversation is we're talking about the NFL devaluing the running back position. Well, guess what? We did too. You don't want to go to a game and see a running back get 35 carries. You want to see Patrick Mahomes throw it 35 times. And that's what's changed as well. We don't want that brand of football anymore, and that's impacting the position.
Here's what they're like for people who are golfers. There was a time in golf where long iron players were really important, right? Yeah. Myron, you'd have a 3-iron or a 4-iron or a 5-iron into the green. Well, guess what? We now hit drives so far, the guys don't even hit long irons. Yep. Most people don't even carry a 3 or 4-iron in their bag. Yep. So the game changed to where a skill that might have been very important is not as important. The football game has changed to where that skill, running through the offensive line as a running back, is just, Myron, not as important. And I feel bad for the guys, but it hasn't changed anything, right?
No. And to your point, like, you can get similar value without spending that money, you know? And that's unfortunate to be in that position, but it's the reality. If I were the parent of a high school running back, an elite high school running back who maybe has big time potential, maybe to go on to play at a high level in college or even in the NFL, I would go into my football season this year and I'd say, I want to switch positions. Put my kid in a different position, because running back, to me, the future is a lot different for those guys now than it ever has been before this.
Now, there's a lot of people on the phone that are angry about my best athlete thing.
Let them be. Put them on.
I mean, you can be angry. I'm sorry. Don't be. And I'll put some of you on in the next segment, but you're just wrong. Science and technology have changed everything. And I'll use the example of golf. We all know how amazing it was to see Tiger Woods, right? Yeah. He was amazing. And Tiger Woods is still good at golf. And Tiger Woods is not that much different than the guys now. But go look at how far Tiger Woods hit the ball when he played in his prime. Myron, there's 50 golfers that hit it farther than that now.
Yeah.
50. Like,
It's different.
50 golfers hit it farther than Tiger Woods did in his prime. Maybe 75. It's not the same. Like, I love Tiger. He's, in my opinion, the best, the GOAT. But when you talk about Tiger in his prime, if you put him in a tournament right now, he would struggle. He might win some, but he wouldn't win as much as he used to because these golfers are now fit. They're athletes, and the technology's changed, and they can hit it farther and closer, Byron, than he did.
And to me, I think the big difference with what we're seeing as well is the skill development at a young age has changed. And we follow basketball.
True, very true.
The guys who are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, traveling the country, doing skill work, that didn't exist before. It's just a different level of competition now.
But I will hear the other arguments if you would like to have them. A couple people have already hung up because once I said that, they knew they had no chance, Myron, to respond.
Keep calling.
So I appreciate you all acknowledging that. We will deal with the calls, pick our guest picker of the day, and more. That's next here on Sunday Morning with Matt and Myron.
Greeny.
You have Aaron Rodgers, and you draft a quarterback in the first round. What could go wrong?
Oh, yeah, everything. This is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. Are you out of your mind?
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. The Hoop Collective Podcast.
I'm at our ESPN LA studios. You may remember that Bev did a couple of days of work for ESPN last year.
No, I remember. I was on with him.
He left a gorgeous Dolce & Gabbana suit here that is just spectacular.
You should wear it on TV today, Brian.
I do not believe it will fit me, only because the arms are too long. You're across the street. Come over and get it. It's got to be at least a $7,000 suit.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA. This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Chicago-style hot dog here. I'm not feeling too good. Turns out, along with all the other bad things my cholesterol does, they say it's a risk factor for strokes. Strokes? Sheesh. Good news from National Stroke Association. Exercising, eating right, and asking your doctor about medicines that can help lower your cholesterol, like statins, may reduce the risk of a first stroke. And if you've already had a stroke, it's even more important you lower your cholesterol.
Lower your chances of stroke by controlling your cholesterol. Visit stroke.org today.
Cancer is a big idea for a small child.
She dreams of being a figure skater or trying to figure out what to do next.
Each school day, 2 classrooms of children are diagnosed with cancer.
The doctor said there's hope.
I'll be brave, Mommy.
If I could just take her place.
It's okay, Daddy.
Only research cures childhood cancer. Give today. You can help fund this life-saving research to conquer childhood cancer. Visit curesearch.org today.
You're listening to San Antonio's ESPN 1250. The home of college football.
We got a lot of people here waiting to challenge us on various things we said here on Sunday Morning with Matt Myron. So here's what I'm going to do, Myron.
Yeah.
There's 6 people on here. They have things they want to challenge that we've said. Whoever makes the best argument, it'll be our choice. I'll let be our celebrity guest picker. How do you like that for the final?
Yes, let's do it.
Because it'll say that they're able to say something worthwhile.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of people. So let's just go with it. Tim is in Knoxville. Now, before you talk, Mark, my producer, will you come on here for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Tim, are you in Knoxville, Tennessee?
I am just outside of Knoxville, yes.
All right, so
Knoxville,
Mark,
Tennessee.
you wrote on my screen, Tim in Knoxville. And Myron, here's how he spelled Knoxville. Knocksville. Do you really think, Mark, that Knoxville is spelled Knocks?
Well,
Knoxville?
I've never had to spell it before, and I assumed it was close to Knicks.
That sounds like a fictional city in a boxing
Did you really think there was a city that was called like Knoxville, like Hard Knoxville?
Apparently,
it's KNOS for the future. Okay, just so you know. I cannot believe that's what I thought. Honestly, Myron, I thought this dude must have said he was from the school of Hard Knocks. I did not think that there's any way he could actually be from Knoxville, Tennessee, Mark, and you would have spelled it.
You got to fight the Sandman and Mike Tyson punch out in Knoxville. I feel like
I'm just saying. I love you, Mark, but
that's fair. It's fair criticism.
All right. So Tim in Knoxville, what do you got?
Well, I have the solution to make it palatable for everyone.
For what? For pickleball? Yes.
Well, pickleball. Full contact pickleball.
See, I'm for that. I appreciate the call, Tim. And
what?
If those 70-year-olds were allowed to, those shirtless 70-year-olds playing pickleball were allowed to attack each other, then I'm in, and all of a sudden, that's a sport I'd like to see. So, Tim, hang on.
70-year-old shirtless people in California.
Tim, hang on. By the way, all of these callers, hang on in case we pick you to win. That way we can have you as our celebrity guest picker. Myron, I'm for that.
Yeah, I don't really know how you get there from the game it is now, but good luck.
I like it. So, Tim, hang on in Knoxville. That's our first one. Marquise. Is it Marquise? Is that right in Illinois?
It's Marquis.
Marquis. Where in Illinois are you?
Southern Illinois, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
I've never seen a marquee. I've seen a marquee.
That's not that far from Kentucky, but go ahead.
Okay.
Marquis, now that you've got the floor, don't waste it. All right. Well, there you go. Nice job, Marquis. That was
I figured there was something funny when he said his name was Marquis. Like that.
You knew.
That's what I said, a Marquis.
Mordecai is in North Carolina. Mordecai, where in North Carolina are you?
You know where he is.
Yeah, hey guys, great show as usual. Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, that's my guy.
Yeah. Hey, I think you've overlooked 2 great athletes. So the first one I'd like to say is the late, great Florence Griffith Joyner. World record, 1988 in the 100-meter dash, 10.49. No one's even come close to that since then.
She also was on drugs.
No. Come on, let's not do it like that.
Well, no, hang on before you say let's not. I'm not trying to be rude. She failed. Hang on, Mordecai. I'm going to have to hang up on you if you don't let us jump in. Myron, she failed drug tests. She did. What are we supposed to do with that?
There were a lot of suspicions And that number still feels like something that you would need some help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. She was a phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal story, and rest in peace. But at the same time, you can't just act like there are not Mordecai. All right, I have to hang up on you if you don't. I like you, but you can't act like there wasn't suspicions about that. But go ahead.
Okay, I agree. You're absolutely right. Point well taken. Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record, 2009, 9.58. No one's come close to that.
Okay, so Usain Bolt that's within the last 20 years or 15 years.
15 years.
I appreciate the call. Hang on, Mordecai. But Usain Bolt also was a kind of physical freak of nature that, I don't know how many more times we'll see him, Myron. It was not just that he was fast. He was tall, so that he was very long, so he could go as fast as he did.
Yeah, and I'm a track nerd. If you go to, like, the high school world championships and, like, the under 19, there's a bunch of young people who are coming for all these records, man. So as crazy as that record is, it's not going to stand forever.
And I would note that what people don't think because they know Usain Bolt, the second fastest time of all time is Tyson Gay, who never won because he always came in second to Usain Bolt. But that's proof of my point, which is the fastest people are now.
Yeah.
Let's go to Josh in North Carolina. Josh, what do you got?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm from Wilmington, so the Michael Jordan comparisons are always kind of there. But growing up there, and actually my son will be attending Laney High School as well. There's actually a debate in Wilmington that he wasn't even the best player at the time in Wilmington.
I think there's a lot. He didn't make the team at first, so that's completely plausible. What's your point about this?
Yeah, so the point about this is that I agree is that every time frame within sports in even my last 20 years, I played basketball in college at a small basketball school in North Carolina. But if you were 7 foot back then, you probably made it to the NBA. Now they have 7-footers like Durant running out there, looking like ballerinas. I mean,
you're exactly right.
So
Myron, speak to that.
I agree with your point.
I appreciate the call. Myron, speak to that about AAU. You go to AAU games. How much better are these kids now than they even were 15 years ago?
You can't compare. Again, their skill development is starting at such an early age. They're playing the best players from around the country, already. They just, they're not learning positions. These guys can shoot and jump and run and just do things that, like, guys couldn't do 15, 20 years ago. And again, they're committed to it at a level that guys just weren't at that same stage in their careers 30, 40, 50 years ago. I will say the greatest athletes of all time could play in any era. Like Wilt Chamberlain could find his way into today's NBA. He just wouldn't be Wilt Chamberlain. I think that to me is the big difference.
No. I will totally accept that. But would Wilt Chamberlain be the best player in the NBA now? He would not be. He would not be. It just wouldn't happen. Michael is in Florida. Michael, I just got like a minute. Go quickly.
Okay, I think you're more arguing sports science has taken a huge leap forward. It's not the athlete. I mean, they have to practice and everything, but you can't tell me that players today, just by the eye test, are better than Michael Jordan.
Yes, they are.
I mean,
yes, they are.
Their careers are very extended.
But yes, they are. Michael Jordan. Listen, I love Michael Jordan, but they are. And yes, you're right. It's because of sports science, Myron. There's no doubt that's why. But the end result are sort of athletic stars that are better than used to exist. I don't even know how that's debatable.
A 7-footer who can shoot 3-pointers won an NBA title this year. I mean, that's all you need to do is look at kind of how the league is now compared to then.
Yeah. I don't mean to be mean. Are we going to make Tim in Knoxville, who wanted to have full contact pickleball, our winner?
I guess.
I think we are. It's Sunday morning, Matt and Myron.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball, it's interleague action at Fenway Park in Boston. Justin Turner and the Red Sox welcome Pete Alonso and the New York Mets. Coverage begins today at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on your smart speaker.
Hey, Jen, sorry I'm late. I had to stop for gas.
Yeah, I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
I know. Everyone's still talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, I earn back up to 25 cents a gallon every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
It sure does. I've made over $300 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WIN8 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account through PayPal or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WIN8 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code WIN8 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Dear Mama, my first 5 years, I'll learn a lot. How to walk, talk, brush my teeth. But for food, I'm pretty much counting on you. I don't know what's good for me. I can use the stove, drive to the store. It's up to you. So if you need help, there's WIC. WIC, Women, Infants, Children. They'll tell you what's good for me, even provide food. Because what I eat my first 5 years will affect me the rest of my life. Love always, your child.
Get proper nutrition before it's too late. Call or visit WIC. WIC provides nutrition information, healthcare referrals, even food for women, infants, children. To find out more about WIC, our nearest location, or if you qualify for our benefits, call 1-866-WIC-INFO.
P.S. It doesn't cost anything.
Your child has you, and you have WIC. Brought to you by the National WIC Association and the Ad Council.
The day my son died, it was beautiful outside. He went for a ride on his motorcycle and was hit by a car 1 mile from home. On average, a motorcyclist is killed on Texas roads every day.
There is nothing that can prepare you for when they come to you and tell you that your husband has been killed.
Today, I saw a tarp-covered body laying in the middle of an intersection. It was a motorcyclist.
Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it. Brought to you by TxDOT.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving off 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may have contained vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
Saving the world isn't easy, but saving a life is. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Visit bloodsaves.com to learn more.
Hug and Toast Meets World. The internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is San Antonio's ESPN 1250. The home of the World Series.
This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Final round, final few holes of the 151st Open Championship at Royal Liverpool. Brian Harman playing the 15th, 12 under for the tournament, 4 shots ahead of Sepp Straka, who is playing 17 and stands at 8 under, alone in second. Tom Kim, Jason Day tied for third at 7 under. Again, Harman at minus 12, playing the 15th, trying to win his first major championship. Max Verstappen wins again, won the Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix Sunday, his 7th consecutive F1 victory. Lando Norris finishing second, some 30 seconds behind. Major League Baseball Yankees have beaten Kansas City 2 straight this weekend, but still sit tied for last in the AL East with the Red Sox. Is that it for these two squads this season? ESPN baseball analyst Doug Landell says, not yet.
I don't count the Yankees out. The basement in the AL East is the penthouse in the AL Central, and that's just the way it is this year. Any given week where teams beat up on each other, there can be a complete shift in that division. I think more importantly than even the Yankees' question marks about, okay, why are they having these struggles, is also that the Rays have kind of come back. And they got out of the gate really fast. Baltimore caught them. You see the potential in that division that anybody could get hot over a week and be in a completely different position. I see no reason them giving up.
That's Doug Lineville and Darian Mel earlier on ESPN Radio. Mets and Red Sox, Sunday Night Baseball, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, this is Freddie Coleman, and coming up on Monday, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Jordan Love. I can't wait to tell you who's on my list of players that are heading into a make or break season. You better not miss it. It's 6 8 Eastern Time on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPN Europe.
That's another big-time blast once again. It's showtime.
The Angels are in the same stance they've been for, a long time. If you want an offer,
trades. I don't know how you let this guy go, other than like just the economics. He asked for what he probably earns, like another planet in his name or something. Because this guy is otherworldly. He is transformational. There is nobody that's done this. Babe Ruth, whatever. This guy is a dominant force on the mound and a dominant force with the bat. And now this year he's having like an Aaron Judge year from last year, which is insane in and of itself. Who's also a strikeout, powerhouse on the mound. So you get two players for one in effect. So I don't see, other than economics, where the teams just can't afford him. But he seems to like being where he is. He doesn't seem to want to be in this like mega spotlight. He just does his job, does his thing. He doesn't take batting practice on the field very often. He just does what he does.
So I get that analysis, and baseball people kind of all have that. How do you trade this guy? He's so good. But at the same time, the Angels are looks like 4.5 back in the wild card. And unless you think that you are going to re-sign him, which they don't, I think it makes perfect sense to trade him. What do you?
I think you have to. Like unless there's some indication to your point that like he'll sign, and not only that he'll sign, that you're going to commit. It might take $600 million or more to get Shohei Ohtani. So unless those two things are true, if you're Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, I think you have to trade him. Because my theory is this, Matt. If you really, really think he wants to be with the Angels for the duration of his career, for the prime of his career, if you trade him, he comes back, right? And you still have the potential.
That's only happened one time in history. Aroldis Chapman the Yankees traded him to Cubs, and then he came back. That's the only time in modern history that a player they traded and then they came back and re-signed with him. So that's very, very rare.
It is. To my point, though, at a minimum, you get something for him. Even if he goes elsewhere, you're at least getting something. If you just let him walk, like I don't know.
Let me ask you a question, Byron. ESPN traded you to Peacock for the rest of the year, and then when your contract went up, would you sign with the people that traded you to Peacock, or would you, if the money was equal, be like, well, I'm not going to go there because they sent me away?
No, I wouldn't care about it. I mean, give me the money. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's $600 million is a good place, I would certainly consider that. But I think Shohei is in a different.
Real process. But I think the Angels keeping, unless I knew for a fact he would re-sign with me, they're not going to win it this year, Byron. So I think they should get whatever they can because they're not going to. I mean, you're going to let him walk for nothing if you don't.
But I think that's the only argument. The only argument that people are making for him to stay and not trade him is they're saying we don't want to be the team that traded this generational talent. We also don't want to be the team that lost that generational talent for nothing.
I love you. I'm with you. I would trade him. Again, I'd have to see what the offers are, but chances are there are 5 or 6 teams that are going to want him because it's a half a year. The market explodes, Byron. It's not just the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Rays, the Orioles, the Reds could consider it. I'm not saying they will, but they could. So, I think it's at least worth looking at. And I think you should look at movie. I mean, it's every day they give you a different movie.
But you just pitched it and said you don't watch it. So I mean,
But I could watch it. That's the thing.
that's a lot right there.
I could watch it. That's probably what. But we will make our picks every week. We give you the picks. We give you winners. We give you winners. Agree with me, Byron. But next, here on Sunday Morning with Matt Fox. None.
That's another big-time blast once again. It's showtime.
You want to make an offer for Otani, they'll listen. I'm definitely interested in improving our chances as we move forward here in this final push.
HIV. It's not easy to talk about it, especially in our community.
But we must, because HIV affects more Latinos than we think.
We want our family to have the information we need to prevent it.
So we talk openly about HIV to make sure we have all the facts to protect ourselves.
We got over the embarrassment. Our family's health and well-being comes first.
We can stop HIV one conversation at a time. Get the facts and tips on how to start your conversation at cdc.gov/actagainst-AIDS.
Victor Ray, this is Scorpion 23 traveling west on MSR Vernon. For Victor, 16 packs. Request MSR status. Over. Roger. Scorpion 20.
Principio de todo esto, hermanos, que Cristo le hace un llamado. Dame de beber. Para llegar a la verdadera adoración, hermanos, tenemos que tener un llamado. Cristo nos llama. Primero tenemos un encuentro y luego Cristo nos llama. Dame tu corazón, dame tu vida. Es bien importante, hermanos, que sigamos este principio. Dame tu corazón. Luego, hermanos, siguiendo en esta historia, para llegar a lo que es la verdadera oración, dice en el versículo 11 en adelante, dice de esta manera: la mujer le dijo, Señor, tú no tienes con qué sacarla, y el pozo es honde. ¿De dónde pues tú tienes el agua viva? ¿Acaso tú eres mayor que nuestro padre Jacobo, que nos dio este pozo? Versículo 12, el cual bebieron él, sus hijos y sus ganados. Y aquí es lo que Dios quiere darnos, hermanos. Aquí vemos para llegar a una verdadera oración, tenemos que aceptar ese regalo. Fíjense lo que le dice. Respondiendo Jesús y le dijo, cualquiera que bebiere de esta agua, volverá a tener sed. Mas el que bebiere del agua que yo le daré, no tendrá sed jamás, sino el agua que yo le daré será en él una fuente de agua viva que salte para vida eterna. Hermanos, Cristo le dice, hermanos, el regalo que yo te voy a dar es mucho mejor que lo que tú puedas hacer, lo que tú puedas hacer por mí. Hermanos, para llegar a la verdadera adoración, aquí está la clave, hermanos. Para llegar a la verdadera adoración, tenemos que tener el Espíritu Santo de Dios. Hermanos, por eso una persona que no conoce a Cristo, que no tiene el Espíritu Santo, no puede adorar con una verdadera adoración. Hay una gran diferencia, hermanos. Yo quiero que mi adoración llegue a Dios. Y para que mi adoración llegue a Dios, hermanos, tenemos que tener el Espíritu Santo de Dios. Dios nos da, para llegar a la verdadera adoración, hermanos, tenemos que tener ese regalo. Viene la salvación y después de la salvación viene la unción del Espíritu Santo. Let's follow that, hermanos. Vamos a seguir en esta historia, porque primero viene el llamado, primero viene el encuentro, luego viene el llamado y luego viene el regalo que Dios quiere, que Dios ofrece a través de su Hijo, a través del Espíritu Santo. Muchas veces creemos, hermanos, que adorar es solamente cantar. Pero la verdadera adoración vamos a ver de cómo es la verdadera adoración. Esta mujer, hermanos, teniendo este encuentro con Cristo, fíjense lo que viene, hermanos, cuando nosotros debemos ser honestos, hermanos. Para llegar a una verdadera adoración tenemos que ser honestos. Hermanos, a mí me fascina la música, a mí me fascina la adoración, pero no es todo. La verdadera adoración está en la honestidad que hay en las personas. Una persona real, una persona verdadera, Bernie. Esa es la verdadera adoración. Una persona que, fíjense, hermanos, para llegar a la verdadera adoración tenemos que ser honestos. Fíjense lo que le dice, hermano. Fíjense, hermano. Versículo el 15. Vaya al versículo 15. Vamos a leer, porque bien, tenemos que ser honestos, hermano. Para llegar a alabar a Dios, a adorar a Dios tenemos que ser honestos. Dice, la mujer le dijo, Señor, dame de esa agua para que no tengas yo sed ni venga aquí a sacarla. Jesús le dijo, ve, llama a tu marido y tráelo para acá. The woman said to him, Sir, give me this water, dame de ese regalo, that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw. Jesus said to her, go, call your husband, and come here. Cristo le dice, sí, yo te voy a dar el regalo, yo te voy a dar, pero ve, tráete a tu marido. Y la historia, hermanos, fíjense, cuando debemos de ser honestos. La mujer le respondió y dijo, no tengo marido. Cristo le dijo, ve, llama a tu marido. Y ella dijo, no tengo marido. Jesús le dice, bien has dicho. No tengo marido. Bien has dicho. Bueno, ¿cuántas veces le echamos mentiras a Dios? ¿Cuándo nosotros le podemos echar mentiras a Dios, hermano? ¿Le puedo echar yo mentiras a Dios, hermano? ¿Me puedo esconder yo de Dios? ¿Te puedes tú esconder de Dios? ¿Sabían, hermanos, que venir aquí es una gran responsabilidad? Es una gran responsabilidad. Porque venir a adorar, hermanos, no es venir a adorar nomás aquí. Adorar a Dios es todo el día, toda la semana. Decía el salmista, tus cielos cuentan la obra de tus manos. Cuando yo miro el sol, miro la grandeza de Dios. Cuando miro la lluvia, miro la bondad de Dios. Dios está en todo lugar. Para nosotros adorar a Dios, hermanos, tenemos que ser honestos. Y esta historia nos menciona, hermanos, que Dios le dice, tráete a tu camarada, tráete a tu marido. Dice, no tengo marido. Bien has dicho. Porque 5, fíjese, no tenía 1 ni 2. 5, yo creo que estaba ganándole casi a Elizabeth Taylor, hermano. Ya después que... Porque 5 maridos has tenido. Y con el que ahora tienes, no es tu marido. Hermano, yo no soy nadie para juzgar a nadie. Yo no voy a juzgar a nadie. El que va a juzgar va a ser la palabra. Dios, tú y yo le vamos a dar cuentas a Dios. Y por eso es bien importante que para adorar a Dios, para venir delante de Dios, hay que ser honestos. No podemos, hermano, esconder nuestra vida delante de Dios y delante de los hombres y que Dios se agrade de ellos. Hay que ser honestos. Le dice, hermanos, 5 maridos has tenido y el que ahora tienes no es tu marido. Esto has dicho con verdad. Con verdad. Y luego, hermanos, para tener la verdadera adoración, hermanos, ¿cómo llegar a la verdadera adoración? Y ese es el punto. Yo lo que te quiero decir es, yo quiero que tú tengas una vida, una relación con Dios muy, muy buena. Y que tú le adores a Dios de día. Dice que en el cielo estaremos adorando a Dios, ¿de quién? De día y de noche. Si nosotros vamos a adorar a Dios día y noche, aquí, hermanos, debemos de adorarle también de día y de noche, todos los días de nuestra vida. Ahora, dos cosas son bien importantes, hermanos, para una verdadera adoración. Por eso yo admiro a aquellos que adoran a Dios con espíritu. Y vamos a ver, hermanos, lo que dice aquí. Le dice, hay veces que no sabemos cómo adorar. Y esta mujer tenía ese concepto. Dice, fíjese lo que dice, hermano. Vaya con esta historia, porque hay veces que sabemos que, ¿cuál es la verdadera adoración? Una orquesta grande, una persona que esté muy bonito. Esa no es la verdadera adoración. La verdadera adoración está aquí, hermanos, donde dice, la mujer le dijo, Señor, me parece que tú eres profeta. Nuestros padres adoraron en este monte y vosotros decís que en Jerusalén es el lugar donde se debe adorar. Jesús le dijo, mujer, creedme que la hora viene cuando ni en este monte ni en Jerusalén adoraréis al Padre. Vosotros adoráis lo que no sabéis. Nosotros adoramos lo que sabemos, porque la salvación viene de los judíos. Mas la hora viene, y ahora es, cuando los verdaderos adoradores adorarán al Padre en espíritu y en verdad. En espíritu y en verdad. Porque también el Padre, tales adoradores, busca que le adoren. Y fíjense, hermanos, y luego continúa. Dios es espíritu, y los que le adoran en espíritu y en verdad, es necesario que le adoren. Y yo estaba meditando, hermanos, ¿qué quiere decir? ¿Qué quiso decir Cristo en espíritu y en verdad? La manera correcta de adorar a Dios es en espíritu y en verdad. No podrás cantar muy como el brother Ernie, pero no quiere decir que tú no le vas a poder adorar. Tú puedes adorar, y la verdadera adoración son estas dos palabras. Y la primera, en espíritu. Y no está hablando, hermanos, del Espíritu Santo. Está hablando de lo interior, del interior, hermanos. De una adoración interior. Cuando yo voy a adorar a Dios es porque yo lo voy a adorar de mi interior. Yo lo tengo en mi corazón. No es nomás con palabras. Decía el Señor, este pueblo de labios habla. Hermano, yo puedo cantar. Yo quizás. ¿Cuántos pueden cantar como el hermano Ernie? Nuestro hermano que tiene una voz. Pero la verdadera oración no está en las palabras, no está en el sonido. Lo que agrada a Dios es nuestro interior, hermano. Porque el hombre no mira la apariencia, no mira lo bonito de la canto, sino mira el interior, hermano. El interior. El interior, hermanos. Que cuando nosotros le adoramos a Dios con nuestra vida, hermanos, con nuestra vida, diario. Esa es la verdadera adoración. Aquí nos reunimos el domingo, es porque es el tiempo que hemos escogido, hermanos, pero para adorar a Dios es toda la semana. Yo no puedo decirte, hermano, el domingo es el día verdadero de adoración. El día verdadero de adoración es todos los días. Desde que despertamos, hermanos. Con de nuestro interior. Y luego, hermanos, dice con verdad, con espíritu en verdad, es con un corazón sincero. Bueno, yo he mirado terriblemente pensando de que adoración es cantar. Pero adorar, hermanos, es en verdad, es con un corazón sincero. Una persona que es real. Una persona que siente la presencia de Dios. Que siente alabar a Dios con todo lo que hace. Por eso dice que en el Salmo 1, bienaventurado aquel que no, que dice que todo lo que hace prosperará. No se puede ser un verdadero orador si no apropiamos y las escrituras y las enseñanzas del Evangelio, ¿no? Yo voy a adorar a Dios porque yo amo a Dios. Mi corazón es agradar a Dios. Y eso, hermanos, es lo que uno de los requisitos para la verdadera adoración. Hermanos, esta mujer pudo tener una gran experiencia. Una gran experiencia porque el Señor tuvo ese encuentro con Dios. Dios le dio ese llamado. Dios le dio ese regalo. Ella fue honesta y ella, hermanos, pudo cambiar esa acción, esa actitud de que ella pensaba que la adoración era en el monte donde ellos adoraban. Y Cristo le dice, la verdadera adoración está en el interior de las personas. Y cuando nosotros, hermanos, miramos la Escritura, principios, la verdadera adoración, hermanos, es cuando nos apropiamos las Escrituras. Yo quiero, hermanos, que Dios se agrade de mi adoración. Dios se agrade de mi alabanza. Pero para que mi alabanza tenga los resultados, yo lo voy a hacer de corazón y con real. Un corazón real. Un verdadero creyente, hermanos, un verdadero creyente. Y esa es la gran diferencia. Un verdadero creyente va a adorar a Dios en espíritu y en verdad. Si algo que sucede, hermanos, algo que se está sucediendo hoy, muy en día, es algo superficial. Superficial. Dios quiere que anda buscando adoradores que le adoren en espíritu y en verdad. Por eso, hermanos, la palabra dice que muchos son llamados y pocos los escogidos, porque no todos queremos adorar, no todos pueden hacer tienen esa decisión de adorar a Dios en espíritu y en verdad. ¿Y qué sucede cuando nosotros adoramos a Dios en espíritu y en verdad? Vamos a tener una relación con Dios, hermanos, que va a ser lo máximo, que va a ser lo máximo en nuestra vida, y vamos a poder, hermanos, glorificar a Dios por todo lo que Dios es en nuestra vida. Hermano, una de las razones por qué venimos en esta mañana es porque yo quiero agradar a Dios. ¿Cuántos queremos agradar a Dios? ¿Cuántos queremos ofrecerle a Dios lo mejor? Bueno, ¿cuántos va usted, el Señor cuando menciona la historia de Caín y Abel, que a Caín y Abel uno le ofreció lo mejor y otro le ofreció lo no tan bueno? Y si nosotros, hermanos, queremos tener una relación especial con Dios, tenemos que adorarle en espíritu y en verdad toda la semana, todos los años, mes tras mes, semana tras semana, con mis diezmos, con mis ofrendas, con mis alabanzas, con mis acciones, con todo lo que yo pueda hacer por el Señor, hermanos. Eso va a ser la verdadera adoración. La verdadera adoración no solamente está en un canto con la guitarra. Esa no es la verdadera adoración. La verdadera adoración es cuando yo entrego todo mi corazón al Señor. Yo le entrego al Señor toda mi ser, toda mi alma, y el Señor dice que se goza y anda buscando adoradores. Él está buscando adoradores que le adoren en espíritu y en verdad. Él no está buscando adoradores que solamente le hablen por palabra o cuando se acuerden. Hermanos, son principios claves. Y si nosotros, hermanos, apropiamos esta mujer fue honesta. Y para comenzar a adorar a Dios, hermano, para comenzar, hay que ser honestos. Honestos con nosotros mismos, decir, Señor, yo necesito adorarte de la manera correcta, con mi vida, con mis acciones, con todo mi ser. Hermano, y si nosotros si hacemos con eso, nuestra vida va a ser bien bendecida, y tú vas a ser, hermanos, bien bendecido, y vas a poder disfrutar de todas las bendiciones que Dios tiene para ti. ¿Quién quiere las bendiciones de Dios? Yo quiero las bendiciones de Dios. En aquel día, dice, muchos me dirán, Señor, Señor, y yo les diré, apartados de mí. Yo les diré, no os conozco. ¿Qué tan terrible, man? Dice, en tu nombre cantamos las mejores canciones. Y el Señor dirá, no os conozco. ¿Saben por qué, hermanos? Porque su verdadera adoración estaba fuera de lo que Dios quería. Y Dios quiere, hermanos, Dios está buscando adoradores que le adoren en espíritu y en verdad. Y si nosotros hacemos eso, hermanos, yo te garantizo que tú vas a tener una relación con Dios que traiga grandes resultados. Y en esta hora, hermanos, ¿cuántos queremos ser verdaderos adoradores? ¿Cuántos somos verdaderos adoradores? ¿Cuántos verdaderos adoradores hay en esta mañana? ¿Cuántos de nosotros no hemos llegado a esa verdadera adoración? Y cuando yo digo, hermanos, una verdadera adoración es cuando no estamos dispuestos a entregar toda nuestra vida al Señor. Y el Señor le dijo a Nabucodonosor, hermanos, a Nabucodonosor, cuando Dios tuvo ese encuentro con él, le dijo, en balanza fuiste puesto, y fuiste ¿qué? Hallado falto. Bueno, yo quiero que mi adoración, yo quiero que mi vida glorifique a Dios. ¿Cuántos queremos eso? Y yo quiero que tú lo hagas, hermanos. Yo quiero que la verdadera adoración es una verdadera, completa dedicación a Dios. Y esos son los que Dios está buscando. Dios es espíritu, y los que le adoran en espíritu y en verdad, es necesario, hermanos. Es necesario que le adores, hermanos. Y yo te digo en esta mañana, la verdadera oportunidad, mi hermano va a cantar un canto en esta mañana, nuestro hermano va a cantar una melodía. Pero yo te digo, hermanos, vamos a adorar al Señor en esta mañana. Vamos a adorar al Señor y decirle, Señor, yo quiero que mi vida sea una ofrenda de olor fragante, siempre para engrandecer tu nombre. Y vamos a adorar a Dios, hermanos. Yo voy a adorarle. Yo quiero ser real, yo quiero ser un verdadero adorador. Un verdadero adorador que le adore a Dios en espíritu y en verdad. Hermanos, vamos a inclinar nuestros rostros, hermanos. Y yo te voy a hacer un llamado en esta mañana. Yo te voy a hacer un llamado muy en especial en esta hora. Dios está buscando adoradores, hermano Ernie. Dios está buscando adoradores, hermanos, en esta mañana. Y Dios te invita en esta mañana a venir delante de su presencia, a decir, Señor, yo estoy aquí. Yo quiero ser un verdadero adorador. Yo quiero ser un verdadero adorador que te adora en espíritu y en verdad, que mi vida esté entregada completamente a ti. Yo quiero que tú me ayudes. Yo quiero que tú me fortalezcas. Yo quiero que tú me des esa guianza para yo poder adorarte en espíritu y en verdad. Yo te animo en esta mañana, hermanos. ¿Cuántos en esta mañana venimos delante del Señor y decimos, Señor, yo quiero ser un verdadero adorador? Yo no quiero ser un counterfeit. Yo no quiero ser uno que esté falto de ser adorador en tu nombre. Yo te invito en esta mañana. El altar está aquí. Dios está buscando adoradores. Dios está buscando adoradores que lo amen con todo su corazón, con todo su interior, con todas sus fuerzas. Y cuando nosotros hacemos eso, vamos a tener esa relación con Dios que va a ser, hermanos, la diferencia en nuestra vida. Yo te invito, hermano, yo te invito. No hay cosa mejor, hermanos, que adorar a Dios con nuestra vida, con nuestro 100%, con nuestra mente, con nuestro corazón, y decir, Señor, tú eres digno de toda mi adoración. Tú eres todo lo que yo deseo en mi vida. Y yo estoy delante de tu presencia en esta mañana para decirte, usa mi vida, usa mis labios, usa mis manos, usa mis pies, usa todo mi talento, usa todo para adorarte, Señor. Que mi adoración para ti sea lo máximo. Que mi vida esté completamente dedicada a tu adoración en espíritu y en verdad. Limpia mi vida. Yo creo que en esta mañana es importante decirle, Señor, limpia mi vida. Quita todo aquello que estorbe. Quita todo aquello, Señor, que me impide adorarte como tú deseas. Quita todo aquello que no es bueno en mi vida para yo acercarme a tu presencia con mi ofrenda, con mi adoración, con todo mi ser. Y en esta mañana, hermanos, Dios está buscando adoradores. ¿Eres tú un verdadero adorador? Dios se agrada de tu adoración. Dios se agrada de tu vida. Dios se agrada de toda tu dedicación a Él. ¿O solamente es medio, solamente es parcial? Dios quiere todo tu ser, toda tu mente, todo tu corazón. Vamos a orar, hermanos, en esta hora. Padre bendito y Dios de amor, venimos delante de tu presencia, Señor, porque es necesario que comprendamos que tu adoración es todo, debe ser toda nuestra fuerza, todo nuestro ser. Y Padre, yo te pido por todos mis hermanos que han pasado, Señor, que tú derrames bendición sobre bendición. Padre, que cuando nos acerquemos a ti, nos acerquemos con manos limpias, con corazones limpios, con mentes limpias, Señor, para que toda mi ofrenda, toda mi alabanza sea agradable delante de ti. Padre, en esta hora, yo te pido por tu pueblo, Señor, llénalos, Señor, de tu poder. Límpianos con tu palabra. Y Señor, que el día de mañana podamos adorarte. El día martes adorarte, el día miércoles, el jueves y el viernes y el sábado sea un tiempo igual, un tiempo especial que tú nos das. Señor, gracias por esta mañana. Gracias porque tú estás buscando adoradores. Y yo deseo ser un adorador que te agrade, un adorador que te complazca, un adorador que sea digno de venir delante de tu presencia. Gracias, mi Dios. Gracias por esta mañana. Gracias por tu Espíritu Santo. Gracias, Señor, por tu poder, tu gracia, tu bondad, tu misericordia que derrama sobre nosotros. Señor, que yo sea real, Señor. Que yo sea un cristiano, un adorador genuino, un adorador que sea excelente delante de ti, día con día, día con día, día con día. Ayúdanos, Señor, danos bendición. Gracias por todo. En el nombre de Cristo oramos y damos gracias. Y todo el pueblo de Jehová dice, amén, amén, amén. Hermano, un aplauso al Señor, hermanos. El Señor busca adoradores en espíritu y en verdad. Vamos a ponernos de pie, hermanos. Vamos a dar un canto cuando somos despedidos. A las 2:30 nos vemos, hermanos. Acuérdate, hermanos, un verdadero adorador. Piensa en eso. ¿Seremos unos verdaderos adoradores o necesitamos? Esa es la pregunta.
Gracias, Cristo. Gracias, Cristo. Gracias, Cristo. Gracias, Cristo. Levantemos nuestras manos al Señor en gratitud. Gracias, Cristo. Gracias, Cristo. Aleluya.